I'm on site here this morning in Port Kembla, right outside the gas holders behind me. We've got a pretty exciting morning planned actually, because we're doing an emergency evacuation drill practicing. So pretty soon we're going to have joining us on site a whole host of emergency crew members from the local community, including Fire, Ambulance, SES. They're combining with our on-site emergency response and Blue Scope employees to do a mock evacuation, and we're going to assume that someone has broken their leg and work out how to retrieve them safely. Really important for our emergency response, important for the community and the SES and the like to practice their emergency response, and great for our local relationships.
So my name's Lauren and I'm a health and safety professional at Blue Scope, supporting the services and manufacturing excellence team as well as the product innovation technology team. So when I was a patient, I guess, I broke my leg, and the very first person that was there was the person that I was doing an audit with at the time. So his name was Louis, and the first things that he did was sort of respond to me and my broken leg. He made me comfortable, he bought me some rags in a bag for my head, and then we just put my leg up on one of the bricks that were on the ground as well. And then from there he radioed back through to our energy centre to tell them that we'd had an incident, told them a little bit about what the incident was and how I was feeling, and then that radioed through to our security team, and that's when the emergency services got engaged from there. It was a bit weird at first, but I felt very safe and I felt quite comforted that I had our on-site nurse. I also had our security person that was there very quickly. So they made me feel very comfortable, and then once the SES and ambulance came, it was really good as well. I guess laying down as the patient, you could see how much teamwork there was, especially between the SES and ambulance. And when they took over from our nurse, they helped direct our nurse and our security team to work together. So I was in a stretcher. They'd strapped me in and my feet weren't on the ground there, so they'd supported my good foot. I was sort of just resting, and then I had the ambulance person just holding me up as well. So it was really funny because as we were going up in the little lift, I said to him, I go, is it scary looking out the side? There's a little door that you can see out of. I was like, is it scary looking out? And he goes, oh, I'll show you. So he sort of pulls me a bit closer and I lean over, and then I was like, oh wow, that's very far down. And I'd felt very safe the whole way up until this one point, and he was just sort of joking with me a little bit, and then he goes, do you want to have another, like a bit further of a look? And I was like, oh, and before I could even answer, he just tilted me a little bit more, and I managed to look down, and it was really cool. So it was just a really good way to experience, I guess, the whole gas holders. I guess feeling, like I said, as safe as I did, and it was so surprising that I did feel so good and so comfortable about it. And I think it is because of all the people that were involved, and they were very calming. So when I did swap out with the dummy, all of the people in SES worked together to secure the dummy back into the stretcher, and then they all worked out how best way to take the stretcher down the stairs and then out the side of the gas holder. So out the side of the gas holder there's a really quite a thin walkway that goes around, and then there's a few pipes that stick out, so they had to figure out how to actually get the dummy around these pipes. It was really interesting to watch the teamwork that they had there, and they ended up tying just some lanyards and things around the stretcher as they were pulling it around these high risk areas, just in case, I guess, someone lost their grip or something. The stretcher would still be tied on. And then so they got it around the front, and I was sort of watching from there. It was beautiful views, beautiful day, a little bit windy. So the really interesting thing for me was that before I'd even gotten up the top, the crew up there had already assessed where to put the dummy over the edge, obviously because of the wind, so you don't want it to sway too much. So they chose the side that they did. They rigged it up to the stairs that were on the top of the gas holder, and then the ropes went down the side and they hooked the dummy on. And I didn't realise this, but they actually had someone that was sitting with the dummy that abseiled with the dummy. So brave, I wouldn't have been able to do that. It was a really cool sight. The debrief was really good. We got some really good insights from SES. The police did show up. There was a representative that was there that was speaking to us as well. And we had ambulance, the Blue Scope staff were there. So we all sort of gathered to talk about what went well. We're so lucky to not have these kinds of incidents, and to be able to practice one with the crew that were involved, it's very eye-opening for BlueScope people and the direct staff out at the gas holders who work in that space almost every single day, for them to see that they are safe in that area, and if something does go wrong, we do have really good processes to be able to rescue someone, and everyone's really comfortable with rescuing the people that work in that space. And it was really beautiful to see how people worked as a team, and especially when the SES came in and took over from our nurse and our security guard, how security and our nurse still helped the SES team whenever they wanted. We also had Louis in the gas holders too, and he was right there to help them as well. So when they were manoeuvring me around on the blocks, they'd ask for help and they'd work as a team and ask people to stop and all of that. So I thought that was really, really good to see, and like I think I said earlier, it was really comforting as well.